Well, I knew we were live already, and I just had to give her a funny look. Okay, so we're back. We're back again.
Hi, we're back.
So so Todd and Carla Falcone here, and you guys have been hearing about, what do we call them again, honey?
UNI couples retreats.
It's not UNI.
It could be UNI too.
UNI one.
Yeah, United.
United. I'm teasing. So. Yeah, so we wanted to pop on here. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and we have, first of all, our website's done. It's still in the works, but it's done. And we're excited about this first upcoming retreat coming up in first quarter. And we have been overwhelmed. No, I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed, but.
No, overwhelmed in a good way.
Yeah, overwhelmed with responses from many of you indicating your interest in attending our upcoming couples retreats. So what are we doing here? We're going to send them over to our Facebook group. Is that right?
Yep.
So I'm going to let you do all the talking. I'm always on lives.
You're so good at it.
But I'm always on lives.
So, well, I will say thank you for those of you that have reached out. We've had a lot of response on social media. We've also received private messages and private texts and phone calls and in person, and just a lot of response, really positive. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And so here's the deal. Yesterday, Carla was reaching out. We had about 120 couples that messaged us from our first video. And this was maybe 4 weeks ago. And so we took down everybody's Facebook pages and those addresses, put them into a spreadsheet. Yesterday, Carla started reaching out and saying, hey guys, want to give you an update so you know where we're at. And Facebook blocked you.
Blocked me for a little bit.
For a little bit. So
too much reaching out, I guess.
And even though they were all different messages, all uniquely typed.
Yes.
Even understanding the Facebook algorithms, Zuck is back there and his evil tricks going, oh no, we're not going to do that. But so you might have gotten yesterday, some of you had gotten a message probably from Carla, not from me, saying, hey, we wanted to invite you to our Facebook group where you can learn more about these retreats. And again, one of the first things that we want to have you do is take our survey. And so, again, if you, maybe this is the first time hearing about it, and that's certainly, I mean, because in this case, I'm streaming across YouTube, YouTube, Facebook, my business Facebook page, X, Twitter. So if you're not aware what we're doing, we are putting together very curated, epic experiences specifically for couples that want to have an amazing life together. And I don't think we have to introduce I don't know. Some people might haven't seen. Well, here's the deal. I'm Todd. This is Carla. And you're obviously connected probably to me since this is going out to through my channels on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and a bunch of other places. But this is my wife. We've been together for
32 years.
I know, I'm teasing. I know, 32 years we've been together. And so for the last year, we've been talking about putting together couples retreats specifically. These are not business retreats, even though most people follow me for business, but retreats designed to help couples work on their stuff, grow closer together, and just have what we have. We've got an amazing marriage. We've got 2 great kids. I say now it's weird because I say kids, but they're like 18 and 22 amazing young men. We've got a great family unit, and we love to see happy couples that just really love one another and I'm trying to think of the words don't just tolerate each other or living together. It's so funny to see these people living together and they're sleeping in different bedrooms. Although I've slept in the guest bedroom a few times by choice, typically when I'm sick, which isn't very often, or I got a bunch of late night work to do. I'm like, I'll be in the back room. But it's kind of, we want to see couples like really bond and have a great time together. And we genuinely like each other. Like we're besties. We are best friends, and we love and are in love with one another. So again, you can see the banner right in front of you. It's not a clickable link, by the way, so you don't have to figure that out. It's facebook.com. It's like one of those things, long one, facebook.com/groups/UNI couples retreat. If you would be so kind, if you're interested in what we're doing, and if this is again your first time hearing about it, we're doing these, and we're not going to Detroit. Okay, nothing wrong if you live in Detroit.
Nope,
okay,
nope.
I mean it's the
Great
original car
city.
capital of the world.
Yep.
We're not going to go to Chicago. Great city, the Windy City.
Great city.
I've been there for a while.
Yeah.
We're not going to go to.
How about where are we going to go?
I was going to say okay, where are we going to go? We're going to go to, where are we going?
Oh boy.
Bali?
Yep. Bali, Peru, Switzerland, Costa Rica, Hawaii.
I know that I'm missing a couple. And by the way, that's all on our website,
Yes.
which you'll see the website if you go into the Facebook group. Okay. You can see the details of the actual retreats. And really the most important thing is we're looking to gather data from couples that have an interest in attending these retreats. So the most important thing we urge you, because we had so much interest in it, but nobody really knows all the details. So if you get into the Facebook group, you'll have a chance to see the website. And on the website, it's going to ask you to fill out a survey. And that survey is totally anonymous. That means that you can say whatever you want to say, and we won't have a clue who said whatever they said. But I shouldn't even say that, because then they're gonna be like, hey man, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure you guys will all be sweet and nice, but yeah, so if you could fill that out, that's going to allow us to customize these retreats for you, and also kind of to set up expectations. Like, what are you expecting out of this? I know we have clearly defined like what we're going to be doing, but maybe there's something that we haven't thought about, and we're like, oh, well, that's kind of an interesting idea. That would be a real cool thing to incorporate into it. So again, we're not giving any marriage tips today. We were thinking about like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
I will.
But
Go
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was just that we want to hear from you. So, and in order to do that, we want you to join that Facebook group and fill out the survey so we can hear from you, because that information is going to really help us create something very special for you.
Yes. So no marriage tips today. Sorry. We'll save that for another live. And by the way, get used to this, because here's my plan. This is great, because I go live all the time. Pretty soon you're going to see Todd and Carla, and a little less Todd, a little more Carla, a little less Todd, a lot more Carla. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm just kind of like, I'll be like going off the screen. I'll be like, oh, I'll be sitting in the chair over there. I'm like, go for it, honey. No.
I like how you share this plan live and not privately beforehand.
No, we'll be doing, I do my lives. We'll do our couples lives. I'm just messing with you, baby.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah. So anyhow, no big tip today. Just really, again, with the Facebook page is live. You can see it on your screen. If you're seeing this on LinkedIn or X or anywhere else that's not Facebook, YouTube, for example, then just go to facebook.com/groups/UNI couples retreat. It would be cool if StreamYard made that a clickable link, but it's not clickable. So I will do this when I wrap it. I will put a clickable. Well, actually, I'm not going to do that, because I want this to be seen, and it's so weird how you put a clickable link in there, and then all of a sudden nobody sees it. It's like magic.
It's magic.
It's magic.
Yeah.
So
can I say something?
Yeah.
Regarding the retreat, just know that this is a time for you to reconnect with your partner, to have a trip where you're rejuvenated and refreshed, and you go home just feeling like you have a new spark in that relationship.
Yeah, like you'll leave and you'll actually be holding hands. You know what I mean? It's like, if you think about it, like how many couples when was the last time I kissed my spouse? Oh, it's been so long, I can't even remember. I mean, that to me is like not a great marriage. Like the last time you hugged your spouse, the last time you walked hand in hand, the last time you went out on a date that didn't involve like staring at a movie screen. I don't really consider date nights going to the movies.
No.
A date night. That's like,
it's an outing.
It's an outing. One other thing I do want to say. So because I've had some people that have messaged me directly, like, okay, so I've run events for years, and when you go to like a network marketing training event, for example, and this again, just to be clear, has nothing to do with network marketing, no network marketing business training. I'm sure many of the people that are coming, and we will, especially if the first retreat is a bunch of network marketing couples, which I would anticipate, given my audience, that it likely will be a lot of people that are involved in the network marketing space, that you guys are used to, like, okay, be in the room at 8 o'clock and we're grinding until 8 o'clock at night and speaker after speaker after speaker. And we're not going to take you to the Amalfi Coast and we're going to do 8 hours of seminars a day. So it's funny because when I travel overseas, it's funny, like by the way, if you've never traveled overseas business class, you need to do that at least once in your life, because it's totally different. Like, cause you're on a 16-hour, 20-hour, let's say it's a 20-hour flight to, Sydney, Australia, and you're sitting in a coach seat for that long. No, you get your own bed. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Like you're like laid down flat. They've probably, if you were to eat everything that they gave you on the flight, you'd probably consume about 6,000 calories. I've made it. And I know I'm totally going off subject, but I don't care. You make it, they give you the little nuts, and then they give you the appetizer, and then you choose your meal. And of course, you got a glass of wine, and would you like more wine? And they've got reds and whites and everything. And then they bring you the cheese plate afterwards. Some of you guys who've done business class overseas know what I'm talking about. And what comes after the cheese plate, the cheese and grape plate? It's the sundaes. They literally roll down, this cart of ice cream sundae. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've never made it to the ice cream sundae. Literally by that point, I had a couple glasses of wine. I haven't drank for months, so it's like I probably wouldn't even make it through the wine thing. I'd be up all night on the flight. But like by then, I'm like already fully reclined watching a movie. And I don't know where I got on this, but oh yeah, here's where I got on it. And she's like, now you're dominating Facebook, the live, Todd. The idea here is to give you exercises, to give you things that will help you grow closer together, to share our experiences, and to just have you walking away feeling madly in love with one another. Who's it not for? Okay. I will say this real quickly. If you're like at the end of your rope with your marriage and you're like hanging on by a thread, like a tiny little thread, and it's like, well, we're going here to see if Todd and Carla can save I don't know, I wish I had a thread right now. I could just, hey, hanging on by fingernails with the thread. Don't come to our retreat. Okay. I'm just telling you, this is not the marriage saving final last straw. Like, we're going to try this thing and see if we can, because honestly, my anticipation, my guess would be you guys showing up, you guys are fighting, you're arguing. That's not who this retreat is for. Maybe it's just dried up a little bit. Maybe, the intimacy is just not where it needs to be. Maybe, you guys need to just work on, and believe it or not, I mean, we've had to do this too, like many years into our relationship. It's like, okay, how do we learn to connect better from a communication standpoint, right? Like, one thing that we've learned through experience, a couple things, is if we have something serious to talk about, we don't typically do it on date night, right?
Right.
And
yeah.
Then, and this is not really involved in the equation so much anymore, but like, if we're both having a couple cocktails, which we've both been known to do, and you're having a couple of cocktails, and then you have something serious to talk about, that doesn't typically lead into a very good conversation either. So I know I said I wasn't going to give any tips, but that would be a good tip. Like, don't get into a serious chat when you're having a couple bevies.
Yeah. Right. Also, there's a lot of our friends are similar in age. And so we are becoming empty nesters. And that is a huge transition that you don't realize is coming until you're in it. And, some people fare better than others. Some couples are really excited to have this new phase in the relationship where it's just them in the home and just the two of them and experiencing life together while their kids are out building their own lives. And then other couples, it's hard. They struggle. And so it's just this could be a really nice way to reconnect and find that beginning place for you.
Yeah, we want to bring that honeymoon phase back.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, wow, hey, nice to meet you. What's your name? I'm Carla. I remember the first time you walked in, I saw you. I was like, oh, I don't know. We'll just go for it since we're here. Yeah. How did we meet, by the way? So my family owned a radio station. We've never shared this publicly, have we?
We haven't. You're just on a roll.
I don't know. That's cool. So I spent 2 years in network marketing and ran out of money. And I quit my job 90 days into my first network marketing business. And I found myself like eating top ramen with swollen fingers because there's so much sodium in it. And because all I could afford was like 9 cents or 13 cents a package. You could live off that. And so I was like, got into debt, moved up to Monterey, California, took a job at my family's radio station selling advertising as an account executive. And I'm not going to tell that whole story, but she worked for an ad agency in Fresno. And, I'm single at the time and it's all on the phone. And this is pre-internet, pre-social media. And there's 3 women that worked at the agency, Kathy, Martha, and Carla, who I communicated with all 3 of them. And I was like, man, I could flirt with any of them, right? And then I ended up doing an agency visit and I met Kathy. I think Kathy had like 5 kids and Martha was definitely she just wasn't my type. And then Carla came bopping in and I was like, oh, hi there. And I remember what you were wearing. I know you remember what I was wearing. You remember what I was wearing?
I do. Yeah. Double-breasted olive suit.
I was wearing an light olive, beautiful suit, by the way, double-breasted. I think double-breasted is kind of making a comeback again.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. But back then, I wouldn't ever even wear a single-breasted suit. It was like, This is like early 90s, late 80s to early 90s, like double-breasted, man, that was a thing. And now they're kind of making a comeback. So maybe I'll get another double-breasted suit when I go back to Thailand.
Interesting.
So we met through the agency. And then I was like, oh, okay, she's about my age. And so we kept on communicating. I know that, and we weren't even thinking about, do you remember how we finally,
I reached out to Todd because I was ready to leave Fresno. I wanted to just spread my wings and go anywhere. I was ready to go anywhere. And I reached out to him as well as other people in the business saying, hey, if you know of any marketing or graphic design jobs, let me know. I'm looking, I'm willing to move anywhere. And the next thing I knew, I received in the mail a manila envelope, like 9 by 11 by 9 or something envelope. And he had ripped out all of the yellow pages. Because again, no internet.
Not all of the yellow pages.
No. Sorry. The advertising and graphic design companies on the Monterey Peninsula. And again, there was no internet. There was no cell phones. That was the way you did it, the yellow pages. So he had ripped out, there were several pages.
And notes and circling. Yes, this is a great agency because I knew all the agencies in town.
Yep.
And
so that required me to call him privately to follow up because he requested that I give him a call.
It's called a lead magnet.
So, and then we started a phone relationship, just talking on the phone, getting to know one another.
Yeah. And then what happened?
And then we got together and he came to Fresno and we celebrated.
I won't tell that part of the story, but so I asked her out on a date and I asked, our first date was December 18th, 1993. How about that, boys? I remember the first date. It was a Grateful Dead show in Oakland at the Oakland Coliseum. Took her to a Grateful Dead show. She had never seen the Dead before.
It was a dream.
It was a dream.
Yep.
I took her back to my place, which was my parents' place, and we slept in the bunk beds, literally. So I was on, I think I was on the top and you were on the bottom.
I don't remember, but he was a gentleman.
Yeah, I was a gentleman. Mm-hmm. Plus my parents were in the house. So it was like, I mean, it's like I've made jokes about that on stage. Like, how do you like try dating? Okay. Try dating in bunk beds. No, I'm not going. Don't worry, honey. I've told this story so many times on the platform. Like, try dating in bunk beds. Well, I got one, and here we are. What is it? 32 years later. So that's how we met. If you're wondering, like, how did you guys two meet? I was working, helping my family's business out. and she was working for an ad agency. The next after that Grateful Dead show, I spent New Year's Eve over in Fresno. Remember TGI Fridays, baby?
Yeah,
that was the place. Hot spot in Fresno, and here we are. We've literally been together ever since. So yeah, there's some funny things on my mind.
I know.
Maybe we'll share those parts of the story at the actual
couples retreat.
Yeah, because then we don't have this huge audience where people are be like, "You what? What did you do?" So yeah. So again, you see the Facebook group in front of you. Please go into the Facebook group. We'll get you accepted in there. You'll see the website. You can take the survey. Please take the survey because that's going to give us all the intel that we need. And then we'll get back to you. And we will also, if you're really like, hey, man, I want to be in this thing, you need to let us know because we already have like way more couples that are interested than we're going to be able to fit. I think we're going to limit. We haven't figured out like the hard limit. It's going to be somewhere between 10 and maximum of 20 couples. It's probably more likely going to be closer to 10. It's also going to depend on the location we're staying in, the resort that we're staying in. So it's either going to be 20, maximum 40 people in terms of numbers. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to be on the short list, by the end of the year, we'll be taking reservations for that before we finish 2024. But step one for you is to go in there and take the survey. That's going to be great. We'd appreciate it. And we really honestly, we feel super blessed just to wow, all of this interest. Both of us have had friends reaching out to us that are like, wow, this is super cool. What are you doing? This is amazing. A lot of people, friends of ours that are outside of the business space. And I can't wait to do it. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
And I'm going to make her do all the talking at the events, by the way. She doesn't know that yet. I'm going to be at the beach. No, I'm kidding. No, we'll be working with you guys together. So anyhow, on that note, I'm going to end this live and thank you again so much. Stay tuned. Get into the Facebook group and I'm going to lean over and end the stream. So have a good one. Have a beautiful day. I think it's Thursday. Have a great Thursday and we'll see you next time. All right. See ya.